Hello everyone, I am Dr. VRAO. Today I am here with another chapter, that is thermodynamics. Thermodynamics. The word thermodynamics is an inclusive word which includes two, that is thermo and dynamics. Thermo and dynamics. Dynamics is a branch of physics that deals with objects which are in motion, and thermo means heat. Therefore, literal meaning of thermodynamics is motion of heat, right? So, literal meaning of thermodynamics is motion of heat. Then thermodynamics deals with heat changes accompanying a physical or chemical processes, right? Thermodynamics deals with heat changes accompanying physical or chemical processes. If we confine our study to chemical processes, then it is referred as chemical thermodynamics. Chemical thermodynamics, right? And thermodynamics deals with heat changes that are occurring, that are taking place in chemical transformations. That is, when we consent with chemical thermodynamics, deals with that chemical thermodynamics deals with heat changes that are occurring or that are taking place during a chemical transformation. And thermodynamics does not deal with the total energy of the system, right? You should keep one point in your mind, that thermodynamics does not deals with the total energy of the body. It deals with energy changes or heat changes accompanying a process or in a chemical transformation. Usually in chemical thermodynamics, we are always we are all concerned with the chemical transformations, that is chemical reactions. Therefore, thermodynamics deals with heat changes that are taking place during the chemical transformations, right? Right. Then what is the significance of this thermodynamics? That is, what tells this thermodynamics? Thermodynamics predicts whether a given process is feasible or not. I repeat, thermodynamics predicts whether a given process is feasible or not. And what drives the chemical reaction? What drives the chemical reaction? And to what extent do the chemical reaction proceed? Right? So, thermodynamics, the significance of thermodynamics lies in three generalizations. That is, thermodynamics predicts whether a given process is feasible or not. And the second one is thermodynamics, that is, what drives a chemical reaction. And the third one is to what extent do the chemical reaction proceed, right? So, this is the significance of thermodynamics. And thermodynamics do not deal with or does not deal with the rate at which a chemical reaction takes place. Actually, this deals the rate at which a chemical reaction deals with, or the rate at which a chemical reaction proceed, deals in chemical kinetics. Chemical kinetics, right? And then how was these thermodynamics was established, right? I pose a question to you all. How was these thermodynamics established? The answer is thermodynamics was established based on the experimental observations. Right? I repeat, thermodynamics was established based on the experimental observations. Right? So, usually, in fact, thermodynamics based on three generalizations, which we often called as usually we call that generalizations as laws of thermodynamics. That generalizations is first one is you never get something for nothing. First one is you never get something for nothing. And the second one is you never get more than you pay for, and usually you get less. Second one, I repeat, you never get more than that you pay for, usually you get less. And the third one is perfection is unattainable. Perfection is unattainable. These are the three generalizations, and these whenever there is no conflict arises, or there is no what we call as there is no conflict arises when we deal the matter in bulk. That is, these generalizations do not, that is scientists observed that there is no contrary for these generalizations. Scientists observed that there is no contrary, or no contrary has been known to happen for these three generalizations, right? For these three generalizations, and no contrary will ever happen. So, based on these three generalizations, what are they? What are they? You never get something for nothing, and the second one is you never get more than you pay for, usually you get less, and the third one is perfection is unattainable. So, thermodynamics based on these three generalizations. In the coming classes, these generalizations we will learn these generalizations as laws of thermodynamics. Laws of thermodynamics. Therefore, thermodynamics deals with heat changes that are occurring in a process or in a chemical process in which matter is considered in bulk. Matter is considered in bulk. To understand these thermodynamics, we should know the terminology of thermodynamics. We should know the terminology of thermodynamics. That terminology includes systems, surroundings, types of systems, state functions, path functions, intensive properties, extensive properties. Let us see one by one. System, the first term in thermodynamics is system. System means usually all these are fundamentals. You just after listening this class you came to know the terminology of thermodynamics. That's all. This is system. System is it is a specified portion of matter in the universe which is under study. A specified portion of matter which is under study and which is separated from universe by a boundary surface, right? And surroundings. Surroundings is rest of universe which might be in contact with or which might be in a position to exchange heat and matter with system, right? Therefore, Therefore, we can say that now we can say that thermodynamics is nothing but heat changes that are taking place between system and surroundings. System is specified portion which is under study, specified portion of matter which is under study and which is separated from universe by a boundary surface, and surroundings is rest of universe which might be in a position to exchange heat and matter with the system. Therefore, thermodynamics is nothing but it is heat changes that are taking place between system and surroundings, right? System and surroundings. And now coming to the types of systems, there are three types of systems, that is system, there are three types of systems, that is one is closed system, and second one is open system, and third one is isolated system. Third one is isolated system. So, already we came to know that thermodynamics is nothing but heat changes that are taking place between system and surroundings. System is specified portion of matter which is under study and separated from universe by a boundary surface, right? Okay. So, closed system means closed system in which matter, in which closed system means in which heat only exchanges between system and surroundings, heat exchanges between system and surroundings, right? And open system in which heat and matter exchanges between system and surroundings, right? And third one is isolated system, neither heat nor matter exchanges between system and surroundings, that is isolated system in which neither heat nor matter exchanges between system and surroundings, that is no heat changes or no heat exchange between system and surroundings, and no matter is exchange between system and surroundings in isolated system, okay. So, and the next term in thermodynamics is intensive properties. What is that? Intensive properties. Intensive properties. Intensive properties, these are the properties which depends on or which are independent on quantity of matter present in the system, right? I repeat, intensive properties means that these are the properties which do not depends on quantity of matter that present in the system, okay. For example, examples for intensive properties are density, refractive index, specific heat capacity, okay. So, these are the examples for intensive properties. For example, density, if you take 1 liter water or 1000 liters water, density should be remains same. In 1 liter water, the density of 1 liter water and the density of 1000 liters water is also same. That is, these are the properties which are independent on quantity of matter that present in the system, okay. So, intensive properties, okay, like temperature, pressure, specific capacity, refractive index, density, there are lot of examples for intensive properties. And coming to the another property, that is extensive properties. These are the properties which depends on quantity of the matter that is present in the system. Quantity of the matter that is present in the system. For example, mass, okay, mass, volume. Okay, so these are the extensive properties. For example, if you take examples for extensive properties are mass, volume. Okay, lot of examples for extensive properties, because these are the properties which depends on quantity of matter that present in system. Okay, next. Next, for example, the ratio of two extensive properties. Here an important point here is that the ratio of two extensive properties are intensive in nature. For example, density is equal to mass by volume. Okay, mass and volume are, these two are extensive properties, and the ratio of two extensive properties are intensive in nature. For example, X is the extensive property of n mole of substance, then molar property of the system is Xm is equal to X by n. Example for this is density. Density is equal to mass by volume, where mass is extensive property of n mole of substance. Okay, where X is the mass of or extensive property of n mole of substance, then molar property is Xm is equal to X by n. Okay, the example for this is density. Density is equal to mass by volume, that is ratio of two extensive properties is intensive in nature. Alright, and coming to the another term in thermodynamics, that is state function. State function. State function. Okay, the function or the thermodynamic state functions which depends on the factors like temperature, pressure, volume are called state functions. Thermodynamic functions which depends on the factors like temperature, pressure, volume are called state functions. Okay, so state functions and also state functions depends on initial and final states of the system. Initial and final states of the system. Actually, you will come to understand these terms when we are involving when we are learning further concepts. Okay, so you will get more awareness on these terms when we are discussing the further concepts in thermodynamics. This video is exclusively for what is thermodynamics, what is the significance of thermodynamics, and how was that thermodynamics was established, how was thermodynamics established, and what is the significance, what is the scope of thermodynamics, and what are the terminology in thermodynamics. Okay, so this video is exclusively for that. Okay, in the coming videos we will learn we will get more awareness on this terminology, right? Okay, so state functions which depends on initial and final states of the system. Okay, and path functions which depends on or which independent on initial and final states of the system, and which depends on path of the path they followed. Okay, path they followed. In entire thermodynamics, there are two path functions. There are only two path functions, that are work and heat. These two are path functions. Remaining all are state functions. Okay, because heat and work and heat, usually work depends on the amount of work that we are doing in a particular task, depends on the path that we follow. Okay, that we follow. Okay, examples for preparation of rice with gas, or gas with cooker. These are the examples. Okay, the path, and depending upon the path we follow to prepare rice, the time the time that required to finish the task changes. right. So, that is in thermodynamics only the two path functions are work and heat, remaining all are state functions, right. And so, this is about terminology of thermodynamics. This is about terminology of thermodynamics, and in the next classes, in the further classes, we will learn the concepts in thermodynamics one by one. Okay, I hope you this video is useful for you. If you are really like this video, please extend your support by like, share, comment and subscribe. Thank you for watching.